The Hashoo Foundation USA is a nonprofit economic and social development agency working worldwide to alleviate poverty among children in the USA, Britain, and the Middle Eastern country of Tajikistan.
With the mission of alleviating poverty through economic self-sustenance and education, the Hashoo Foundation, chartered in Houston, Texas, is led by a mother, a grandmother, former beauty queen, public servant, and passionate philanthropist, Cristal Montanez Baylor. Welcome.
And Cristal is also utilizing income-generating projects like the Credit and Enterprise Development Program, and in tandem with St. Thomas University, some microfinance initiatives to support expansion of Hashoo's women empowerment through Plan B. That is B as in BB. Perhaps we can start with an explanation of that. Welcome to Latina Voices. The B plan is very interesting. Tell us about the B plan.
The Plan B is a project that was created in Pakistan in the northern areas. Just to give you an idea of the geographical, where it is located, imagine the borders of Afghanistan, China, and India, up in the mountains of what is called today, it used to be called northern areas of Pakistan. It is called Gilgit-Baltistan today. Name just changed a few months ago. And it's as high as K2, so it's up in the mountains. Yeah. In this area of the world, the community leaders have decided that honey producing business for women is culturally acceptable and socially acceptable also, which is very important in this part of the world. So Sarah Hashwani, who is the chairman of the organization, was in Gilgit, as she usually goes, and she saw some women walking on the street, which usually you don't see in this part of the world. She asked our team to find out what those women were doing. They were selling honey. So we found out that there is a tremendous gender discrepancy in this part of the world, we know, but we got it firsthand. The women were producing honey, they learned from the men, and they were doing it in their backyard in hiding. However, they were being paid 35% less for the honey made by the same bees. So Sarah decided to identify this as a project where we need to have an incredible intervention. This is July 2007. 3 years later, this project has benefited exactly 512 families overall, with an impact in over 2,000 dependents, producing almost 30,000 tons of honey. And we sell this honey to 5-star hotels, to the Marriott hotels, the Hashoo group of hotels, and now we have the Serena Hotel. They buy all the production of the honey to the women. They pay 25% above international market price, so the women can invest at 20% in the education of their children. Why the education is so important? We are really, through these enterprises, preventing penetration of extremism through these areas by sending the children to quality schools. So it's a very important project.
It's one facet of the Hashoo Foundation. Why don't you give us an overview of what your organization does to help the impoverished?
Sure. The organization was established in 1988 by Sarudin Hashwani, and it's very interesting in the beginning because he is an immigrant himself. The family came from Iran after the war, Iran Pakistani descendant family. During the Cold War with Afghanistan, he has already developed his business in Pakistan and decided that it was his time to give back, supporting the Afghani refugees in Pakistan. So he brought in all these Afghani refugees into Islamabad and gave them a place to stay and trained them in hotel management training. Saturated the market, and then offered for hire the people that he couldn't absorb in his hotel. Actually, today, when you travel to Pakistan, which I hope you will accompany me sometime, you will see that in the hotels, there are girls hostess in most of those hotels. Hashoo Foundation has a lot to do with that. Most of these girls have been trained by the Hashoo Foundation. It's a very interesting change in the women empowerment. Then that's the first program of the foundation. Then the foundation from there branch into education programs with the poorest children in the northern areas of Pakistan. Children that are usually former dropout students. And I say dropout students because sometimes they went to school in these mountains and the parents didn't see the value of education. So they pulled them out of school. Our job was to work with the community mobilizers, try to identify those children, bring them back to school, and we learned that the only way that they could benefit for life was if we set up a scholarship program where we support their education for 11 years. So it's sustainable for the family and sustainable for the students also. We also have projects with children with special needs. We have a project called Ommi de Noor, and we not only have children with very extreme cerebral palsy, but all different kinds of disabilities. We work with respond to disaster, and we are doing it right now with the floods in Pakistan. We have a project called Sahara Fund to respond to the victims of the bombing of the Islamabad hotel 2 years ago.
Yes.
We have 600 dependents that are benefiting from that project today.
I understand that the floods were tremendous, had a tremendous impact in your organization and in Pakistan. Can you give us sort of really an assessment of what the floods created? Because it was...
Sure. According to the UN last reports, 21 million people are displaced. That leads us to recognize that this is the largest disaster in history. The impact of the displacement of this disaster is bigger than the earthquake in India, the tsunami, the earthquake in Haiti, and the earthquake in Pakistan all together. Wow. So it is incredible, and it is very sad to see how the international community and the media are really slowing down in the projection of what's going on in Pakistan in a very critical stage of a democracy that is very vulnerable.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, just even I was thinking about this in preparation for this, as you saw the Sufi shrine just yesterday, yes, and the bombing of it. And I needed to be educated, so indulge me. You know, Sufism is ostensibly the more moderate, more flexible blend of the Islam practice by most Pakistanis. So that was yet Pakistanis. That was yet another attempt at where there's an attempt at moderation, and the extremists saying, assuming it was them, you know, perhaps not so much. You know, to me, what's fascinating about the story of Sarah and what she did beginning in 2007, I think it shows all of us that we can all make a difference. It was starting with an observation that these women were traveling. Usually they didn't do this, and they had honey. What was the genesis for this? And then started there, and Patricia mentioned at the beginning in introduction, it is St. Thomas, but it's also Rice University, and it's also University of Houston.
Right. Yes.
Tell us a little bit so it connects it back.
Let me go back to Plan B, because I did not respond to your question. Plan B, this project that was developed is called Women Empowerment Through Honeybee Farming, which is the showcase project of the foundation. The project was recognized in 2007 at the Clinton Global Initiative as a model of poverty alleviation. In 2008, I had the honor and the privilege to be on the interview that you can see on the Clinton Global Initiative website, reporting on the project when it was selected among 1,200 projects by their sustainability. They presented 4 projects in 2008 at the annual meeting on their website report. Our project is one of those.
Out of the 1,200?
Yes.
One of the 4.
But the same year, we competed for the World Challenge. And this is incredible. We sent our entrance to the World Challenge by BBC World News and Newsweek and Shell. This is their biggest project globally. So we got an email saying, you are among the first 700. And we thought, okay, great. That's nice. The competition began. The people they stopped the entrance of the project, and then we got a very interesting email. We are among the 12 finalists. We selected 12 projects across the world, 12 countries. Get ready. We're going to visit you in 2 weeks to check the criteria that you have submitted against the reality. Well, they went to Pakistan. They brought the BBC World News people, and they are the one that created our documentary and named it Plan B. So that's where the Plan B comes.
And only because we have little time, connected back to what some of the university students are doing.
So here in Houston, the University of St. Thomas, the University of Rice, and the University of Houston are supporting our Credit and Enterprise Development Project, which is a microfinance project that the students in the microfinance institution raise the fund to support the women in Pakistan. At this point, they have a commitment on 3 years to support 128 women. Today, they are supporting 34 women. Unfortunately, 136 of their beehive are perished by the floods. Each beehive is $106. It's expensive. Yes. The students, as we speak, they are getting together a fundraiser to help the women get back on their feet so they can pay their loans next year.
I love it.
Congratulations.
Women empowerment, all different levels and permutations. Thank you so much for being here. We could speak with you all afternoon. Thank you for all you're doing for women across the world. Very much, and we'll be back for more Latina Voices.
Stay tuned.